Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade. Folks, when I say the word vitriol, does Elle Duncan not immediately come to your mind? The amount of times Elle Duncan has said vitriol throughout this past WNBA season is astounding. The Cheryl Swoops blowback. I didn't mean to say that without calling and asking Cheryl permission to speak first. I didn't mean to have all the vitriol sent her way. It's just unnecessary and mean. Then you have the gaslighting of Indiana Fever fans. Oh my God, a certain group out there is sending vitriol to the Connecticut Sun. A certain fan base out there is sending vitriol to the Connecticut Sun. I wouldn't invite these people to my barbecue because the amount of vitriol that they send. Elle Duncan. You just can't help yourself. Folks, I can go on a 10-minute soliloquy telling you why Kobe Bryant is my favorite player ever. I can go on a 10-minute soliloquy telling you why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I can go on a 10-minute soliloquy telling you why when T.O. touched down in Philly, that was the greatest receiver that I saw with my eyes. I can say all of that without bringing up another player. I can tell you Michael Jordan's the GOAT without bringing up any other player. I can tell you Kobe's my favorite without bringing up any other player. I can tell you that T.O., 2004 on the Eagles, best I've ever seen. And I don't even need to bring up anybody else. Yet it seems like when these people in the media, more specifically the WNBA media, but the media in general, when they bring up another player, they always need to talk about a certain somebody. When they talk about Juju, they always need to bring up CC Tutu. When they talk about Paige Bueckers, they got to bring up Caitlin Clark. I'm playing chess, the rest are playing checkers. It's like clock. They bring up Angel Reese, they bring up Caitlin Clark. You can't make an argument. You can't talk about a specific player, it seems like, in the WNBA media without always double backing to Caitlin Clark. You can tell me how great you think Paige is. Leave Caitlin Clark out of it. You can tell me how great you think Juju Watkins is. Leave Caitlin Clark out of it. You can tell me how great all of these players are, but when you start bringing Caitlin Clark's name in the conversation, unfortunately, you start making comparisons, and that's when I'm forced to interject and say, Elle, what are you talking about? What are you ranting and raving about now? This time around, Elle Duncan just could not help herself on the Elle Duncan show. They got to tear somebody down to always bring somebody up. But in this specific scenario, she says if Paige never got injured, she would be Caitlin Clark. She would have all of the Caitlin Clark hype. Let's take a listen.
I think that similarly, when we talk about Caitlin and her ability to handle the pressure of being Caitlin Clark, all that comes with it, I mean, these are young women, and they are superstars and they are businesses apart from being student athletes. And I think they both have handled it in such an incredible way. The attention, the adversity. There's been more adversity for Paige than there has been for Caitlin, just in terms of trying to stay on the court. I mean, Paige has been hampered with devastating injuries. I firmly believe that the biggest star on the planet would be Paige Bueckers if she had stayed healthy throughout her college run instead of sort of stopping and starting.
I firmly believe Paige would be a bigger star over Caitlin Clark if she didn't stop and start because she could never stay healthy. Elle Duncan, I've been on the record saying I've heard of Paige Bueckers before I heard of Caitlin Clark. She was hooping in high school, but the viral clip of Paige Bueckers that I saw was her talking trash to a coach, not her raining threes, Not her breaking ankles behind the back, no look pass. Was her talking trash to a high school coach, and then I think dropping like 40 on that team. But most decent players in high school are dropping 40 in high school. Let's be honest. The Paige clip that I saw that made her a name to me, that introduced me to Paige, was her going on the road in high school, talking trash to the coach, face to face, jawing at him something fierce. I got to give it up to her for that. I was like, damn, not only is she talking trash, she's killing this team. She could ball. But I wasn't falling over my heels. Oh my God. I'm just in love with what I see. She was good, don't get me wrong. But it was just a regular mixtape that like, oh, in conjunction with the kid talking shit, in conjunction, oh, that's a girl doing. We gotta be honest here, folks. We gotta be honest. Oh, she's talking like that and doing that. Oh, damn, that coach is sorry. That's when Paige Bueckers got introduced to me. When Caitlin Clark got introduced to me, it was a little bit more of like, hey, this girl's cooking teams' boots, dropping 40 on their head. You have to check it out. Okay. This girl's cooking other teams' boots, pulling up from the logo. You have to check it out. Okay. Organic. I never had anybody tell me on the media, watch her. She's next up. No, it organically happened. Like, wait. Wait, what is this? This is different. This is different. Kind of like, I was going to say not like us, but I feel like Renee Montgomery. I've beaten Renee Montgomery to submission by now. Right? They not like us. Right, Renee? Right? Kind of like not like us. It's just what the culture was feeling. Caitlin Clark. Right? The plant. The darling. Paige. And then you got the wave coming. The real wave coming. The organic movement coming. Caitlin Clark. But like I told, these people can't help themselves. Listen to this from L. Duncan. Listen to this, folks. This is L. Duncan talking WNBA in a nutshell.
And so while I'm not really interested in pitting those two against each other, I'll talk specifically about what I think is really impactful about Paige Bueckers. You're Caitlin for Caitlin, who Caitlin and the Caitlin is what Caitlin about Caitlin. And so
folks, she says she specifically does not want to talk about Caitlin. I will specifically talk about Paige Bueckers and then proceeds to refer to Caitlin Clark over 10 times. Shout out to 44 Husker Du. This is outrageous.
While I'm not really interested in pitting those two against each other, I'll talk specifically about what I think is really impactful about Paige Bueckers. You're Caitlin for Caitlin, who Caitlin and the Caitlin is what Caitlin.
Just can't help herself. Has to mention Caitlin Clark at every... Paige is good. She's no Caitlin Clark. Stop. If Paige didn't get injured, Caitlin Clark would have just snatched the chain with a little bit more effort. That's all it would have been. Instead of picking the chain up, instead of picking the belt up off the floor that Paige dropped, Caitlin would have just unstrapped that shit herself and been walking around with the title. Stop it. Stop it. There's only one. There is only one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I will so greatly appreciate it. As always, take it easy.